Hello, I'm John Schwander, also known as the All Grain Gamer,
I'm D-Will.
And I'm Phil.
and we're back with Project KZAV for Week 8, July 14th.
Oh yeah.
Now, what to go over first, we had, well, they're waiting for a surprise that I've alluded to.
Yeah.
So, why don't you guys go into the drive and click on the KZAV art folder.
Okay.
Turn around color sheet. Character sheet. Whoa.
Whoa.
What the? I like it. I like it.
Yes.
That is pretty freaking cool.
So I asked a friend of mine, Mary Heinrich, who I'll give out her portfolio in a second. I asked her to do some concept art for us for Project KZAV. And there's her character sketches of Kevin and Zilo. And you can see her work at http://www.behance.net/mbillustration. And there'll be a link for that in the description. I worked with her on the Ouroboros project I did in the Global Game Jam. And I just asked her to do some art for us. I'm glad you guys like it.
It's pretty sick.
Help you get an image of who they are now. Now, we were talking way back in the week 1 what the character looked like to us. And what do you think? How does he stack up with what you imagined to what you see now?
This is very good. This is almost exactly what I was talking about. But like literally, this is freaking amazing. I'll be right back in like a minute.
All right, Phil, you got a minute to fill.
I got a minute to fill. I think my initial belief of him was much less Indiana Jones and more of just kind of how they introduced Link in Ocarina of Time, just kind of a normal person in a normal village that ends up being extraordinary.
So do you think him as a youngin?
No, not young, but not specialized. I guess when I see these pictures, I see a specialized animal handler, and I was thinking more of Ocarina of Time, where everyone in the village was just got their own companion, and that was just my first impression. But
he comes off as like a professional to you.
Yeah, just kind of he has all the gear of an animal wrangler. You know, you got the vest, jacket that's heavy duty, the boots, the glove. I really like the glove and the bite mark scars.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like those too. What out of the 3 of the colored sheets, which do you prefer?
I guess my problem is I don't really see color. I mean, I see color, but I don't recognize it, so they all look the same to me. I can't tell you one's better than the other.
Are you red-green colorblind?
No, I'm not colorblind at all. I just don't process color very. Or what's that word called? Matching color. I don't do that very well.
So how it matches with the entire outfit?
Yeah. Well,
personally, I like the red better, the middle one. I think that has a better flow.
Yeah.
And
is the one snake drawing like the actual reference? Because I was thinking the snake is being really big, not long, but just thick.
Like a python?
Yeah, or a boa, I guess. I don't know if they're bigger. But I guess I was seeing it more as a not a weapon, but like the companion. So it's not hidden.
Yeah.
It can easily be.
Yeah, you don't see it as a holster for it.
No,
That was one of my
I like
issues,
the holster, but just
The holster.
the size is can easily be underwhelmed by the character.
Yeah.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Though the size of a snake for being a whip, I think thinner would be better than like whipping a boa or a python. That's a lot of fat you gotta whip.
That's true.
Well, I guess I saw the snake as helping with that, but yeah.
Yeah, I just see it as like just getting thrown at him and it sinks its teeth and then drags as it gets pulled back.
Uh-huh.
Had a clear grisly image. Just a hand getting destroyed.
And what did we want this game rated as?
Well, that was just a mental image. That wasn't going to be like what happens. I was going to actually do a video of what's in the game. It'll be a little pixelized whip, and then what's really happening. It'll be like this horrific scene. Maybe later I'll get to that. So Dexter, of the 3 color sheets, which do you prefer?
Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna be picky. I like
Be super picky.
Alright, be super picky. I like the brown hair and brown hair and brown eyes on dude on the left. I like the green jacket on the dude on the right.
Oh, you're mixing and matching now.
Huh?
You're mixing and matching.
Yeah, I know. I like the black pants on the dude on the left. Shoes are the same. And any of the gloves would be fine. I have no problem with that.
What color glove?
I guess either the one totally on the left or the one totally on the right.
Oh. I completely prefer the guy in the middle, and you just mix the other two.
I prefer the dude on the left, basically.
So it's not, other than the jacket, he seems to be your choice.
Yeah, you just made him a really dark character.
And Phil is undecided.
I'm good with all of them.
But wait.
What did you think of the turnaround and character sheets, Dexter? The turnaround and the character sheet?
Turnaround?
What do you think of those?
Is cool. I have no problem. It's freaking awesome, actually. But, character sheet. It's like, there's like different expressions that he'll do.
Yeah. A few expressions.
What's the top one?
Some of the detail.
Of those, like...
The very top?
Yeah, of those 4 expressions.
It's like, angry... she sent them to me. I believe it's angry, sad, / confused, happy, and then like a battle yell.
I feel like the anger one, it's sort of weird because it's like all the way to the left. He's like looking at something, but I'm just really confused. Like, what the heck is he looking at then?
Looking at his arm, you're like, I got so many bites. They hurt so bad.
Also, why does the left hand have scars from snake bites?
Because
That's
Zilo was picky that day. He handles a snake all day.
Yeah, but
Zilo got pissed.
Zylo's supposed to be your companion. He's not supposed to bite you.
Well, he had Zilo all his life. I'm sure he's been points they've been pissed off at each other.
I guess so. Just being picky.
Well, it's good to be picky. You went a lot more in depth than I thought on the color sheet when you mixed and match, but that's good. Phil, you want to give Dexter the rundown of what you thought?
Yeah, I expected him not to be not looking like an expert on animal handling, but to just look like a normal person.
That's true.
Because I envisioned their civilization being everybody gets a companion like that.
Yeah. I guess that could happen. The one thing that doesn't make sense, at least to me, that if they're living in a jungle and they're going off like they're making stuff out of things around them, how they gonna have like a metal belt buckle and a zipper and zippers?
Yeah. I got that too.
Well, what age are we? Because like a modern day jungle dweller, it makes sense to me to have all those pockets and all those provisions, like the snake venom.
Yeah, but he's
little vial.
He's living off
But if it's like
the land.
Yeah.
I thought we were going for the time.
But how far back? Like, is he full on palm leaves, grass skirts?
No.
I don't think we need to go. I think we can go like normal clothing, but just make it look really worn and used.
A little tattered.
Yeah, he looks a bit too new.
That works. What's your thoughts on the glove? Keep it or lose it?
I like the glove.
I like the glove too.
The glove,
I do like the glove.
The anti-venom thing and the scars are definitely good.
Sadly, it's a lot of detail
features.
we'll lose in the pixel, but
I'll say, are we going off of like the glove sleeve that I put in the story? Because technically he doesn't get that right away.
I asked her to draw this about 2-3 weeks ago. I gave her the rundown on what we had, so she worked off that. I gave her just a brief description, told her to go wild, see what she thought, and that's what we got. So
Gotcha. I mean, like I
it's pure
do like
concept,
the glove.
so it's always
just technically
changeable.
if it goes with the story, he doesn't get that like right away. If he like just in the beginning, then the other hand's just like regular, or might still have scars on it too, but he gets the glove in like the temple.
So did you actually write that in, or you were planning to write that in?
I did write that in, I thought. And the snake has one eye. It's like one of its eye.
I do remember you writing that one.
Eye sockets is gone.
I don't remember the glove. What one was the glove?
Try and find it.
Would that be the work in progress?
Story. Yeah, it's work in progress, I believe.
Oh, I see it now, yeah. Well, we could give him the glove as, like, an artifact later. It wouldn't make sense to just suddenly use it just to handle Zilo, since he's been doing it all his life. So if he did have a glove, it'd either be from the get-go, or it would have to be something not tied to snake handling.
I mean, this is sort of from the get-go. He gets it in the very first level. I'm not making him like wait forever. I just wanted him to like go through like a tiny little passage first, and then he gets all this stuff, and then he faces a Heme, and then has to go back, fight off all these things, and then fight the frog.
We could make it something else,
I don't know.
or we could have it do something else. Either works. And you keep saying Heme, but I think I'm always going to say Heme.
Heme. I don't know.
Heme. Heme? I'm not sure. I suppose as the writer, you have the authority.
I just thought since it ended with an E, that you wouldn't actually say the last one. So that's why I said Heme.
I'll definitely leave the pronunciation in your court, since you wrote it. Now, we had things we wanted to go over. While we're looking at the color sheet, we can touch on color for the levels. Like how we're going to have bright colored. What's a part of our week 1 discussion. that we've carried throughout the entire process. Did you have something you wanted to address specifically, Dexter?
Just because, like, the levels that we went over last time were like the first level, that can easily have bright colors with a jungle, but the next two are like medieval, and everything's gonna be with like some type of plague or disease type thing that makes them go into drug addict zombies.
We could have it like we could still use like a brighter color palette, but it would still be dark colors.
Or just use the more diverse palette.
Yeah, it could.
They don't necessarily have to be like neon colors, but just having
it'll be a bright art
colors.
style. Yeah.
All right, that's cool. And then the next one after that, well, Renaissance can easily have bright.
Yeah,
colors.
that's the next temple. Yeah, Renaissance will be easy. Colonial's not too hard either. It'll be a fewer, but
Yeah, and Vikings, that's still up in the air how we're gonna do that.
Did we pick Vikings? I have Future as the last area.
That might have changed, and I might have forgot to do that.
So I remember we were
Wait.
jumping between them.
So you have Jungle, Medieval, Renaissance, Colonial, then Future?
Yeah.
Alright. That might have been a change that I just didn't write down. Alright. But yeah, that's all I have for the colors. Just worried about that one place. It's like, how are we going to incorporate the colors into a medieval sort of messed up place?
I'm just writing a few notes, but yeah, it's that's not too much of a problem.
Nah,
Keeping it bright.
not at all.
Now we have a few things. Phil has made a second version of the editor, but before we get right into that, I want to talk about the side characters because we touched on that a bit too. In the KZAV GDD, I put in difficulty table. Wasn't really anything too much. It's just mostly placeholders, but a general idea of how the different difficulties will play out. And then below that is the side characters and how they would be activated, how they would play out. Because you sort of said that they wouldn't be playable, like they just offer help and then go off.
Yeah.
But you also earlier said, like a few weeks ago, that maybe the choice to play as them and do the mission. I wrote it as if the player decided to play. Alright, so looking at what I wrote, see what you think and see if you want to go back to locking them until you beat the game and just something you can play through as. Because the thing was they were going to actually lower the upcoming temple's difficulty for you if you did their mission. It'd be a side optional mission.
Why is it?
So if we just had that happen automatically, that's we could do it. It just seems
We could.
a bit weird.
Would I be putting in more side characters then? Like, I can easily do that with a story, I just need to know.
Yeah, it would well, there's only 3 temples, so I think at this point we're safe. Because
3 temples for
the
how
first
long
temple
the
will
game
just
is
be a
going to
basic
be?
temple.
Or just like the first episode?
For how long the game's gonna be. For our I want to say like Alpha 1.0. Like right now we're at, I'd say 0.0.2 with just the level aggregate. That'd be our build number. I'm just throwing out numbers, but that would be our first release releasable build that will just start bug editing or bug fixing. And then if we have time later on, we'll add more levels. And then we can add more side characters, more missions. Basically just saying that we don't have to add characters now. The release will just be these characters, and then we can add in characters later, no problem. Like we'll add in temples and levels, and then a side character as well. Just have these because of our deadline. We'll just keep it to 2.
So Lexi comes in at the end of Temple 1, says the side quest for her would be on Temple 2. That's what I heard. That could...
Well, she'll be introduced in Temple 1, right?
Huh?
Like at the end?
She'll be introduced after Temple 1. Well, no, she's going to be introduced
Yeah.
before Temple 1, that's right. No?
Okay.
Alright, what's written in the story right now is that she meets them after they get, like, the glove and the eye.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally right after that. And then they fight the big bullfrog thing.
That works. I mean, anything really works.
Yeah.
As long as it's, But the first temple would just be something they do alone. Or they do it without the side character helping them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other temples, they'll make the enemies weaker.
Alright.
In some way that I'll figure out. And they won't have bosses in their side missions and stuff like that. It'll be something like blow up the core and they'll blow up a generator instead of a boss fight.
That's totally cool. That works out perfectly.
Yeah. And what do you think about having those side missions playable, and that if you don't play them, the temple is harder? Really, by harder I mean just normal. It's not easier.
Yes, I would like that. Because then, if you spend more time making it, you can spend more time making it easier, but if you don't do it, then you still get as much, like, time for enjoyment's sake.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be a basic, quick, pure platforming mostly.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be, how I currently envision it is that Lexi is kind of a tank.
Yes.
So she would be a lot more combat than platform. And since Rose is more of a glass cannon,
Yes.
she'd be more platform than combat.
Yes, that's exactly how I envision it as well. That sounds perfect. I wonder how...
And Phil...
I'm just wondering how they would look too.
What?
How Lexi and Detective Rose would look.
I could get more concept art, no problem.
That would be awesome.
I'll send out an email when I tell her how you guys thought the art turned out. So, Phil, I wanted to know if where it says side characters Rose range, if just having that labeled as a missile, see object section, if that works for you. Because basically it has an infinite range until it hits something. And rather than write like an arbitrary number, I just wrote it's a missile object.
Yeah, I really don't know how to name it, so.
Well, I'm just
works.
saying, is that better since that's how it's going to act rather than writing in an arbitrary number like 99?
Probably.
Alright.
So, works for me.
And before we move on, well, difficulty setting, I mean, it's all arbitrary, but I don't know what you guys think, how that is for a difference.
So easy, player health 150, player damage 150%. Oh wow, that's easy. Normal, yep. 75.
Do you want to change the health, or do you just... want to just do modifiers to damage,
Yeah.
so it doesn't look
What do
like
you mean?
it changes.
Also, what would the enemy health be
Hmm.
if you're doing that?
The enemy health would stay the same. They just do more damage, and you do less damage. That's how I got
Right.
around the enemy health. For player health, we could take that out and just make it all standard 100.
Yeah.
For trap damage, for hard mode,
Mhm.
I think actually it should be higher. Because those are the things that you should be able to like avoid
Yeah.
at all costs on hard mode. So
That's true.
All right, I'll make the health 100. I'll leave the column in case we change it later. I'll make the trap damage 150. And then when we get to a playable, we'll see how that plays and test it out.
alright. I like that.
Do you want to take away, like, I don't know if player damage should change. It's kind of like if you move up difficulties, now you have to shoot someone more, which is kind of, I don't know, in my mind that just seems weird.
That's how
have
I
to
was
do.
aiming to increase the difficulty, rather than just have damage risk, but we could do it
The player
either way.
the player damage for easy mode seems like, I know it's supposed to be easy, but that just seems like, I guess it makes sense.
Well, how I envision it right now would be like easy kills a Heme in 2 hits, normal's 4, and hard is like 5, 6. So it's like the difference of 1 or 2 hits. But I do get what Phil is saying, that
Kind of disconcerting
If
when you
it's-
go up and you expect to only shoot him twice.
yeah, and it kind of makes like platform sections with like dragonflies kind of more annoying if they take 2 hits instead of 1.
Yeah.
So,
Because then we can just do enemy, or
Enemy type.
spawn more, instead of,
I'll leave it there as a placeholder and
Yeah.
just label it that it requires testing.
Alright, that's cool.
And that should be it for anything I'm concerned about with the GDD for right now. Strategy combat, I do have like classes labeled, but really I want to go back to our original idea of having only one type for both sides. So those are most likely going to go. And I'm hoping to have a strategy design out or a powers design out by next week.
okay.
I should have more story stuff by tomorrow morning. I wasn't able to work on it during the week just because kids are crazy and they require a lot of attention. So tonight I can easily work on it. I just have to start writing at different times. And it should be up hopefully before I have to start working, so it's like 3, I hope.
Alright, that works for me. So, Phil, why don't you tell us about this second release you got?
In the level editor document, I've been keeping a list of things that are finished and things that should be added. So if you guys think of anything, just add it there. So in this new one, I got your save as done, the respawning,
Alright.
following the player, resizing the objects, which you guys will probably find a little difficult to use at first, but it was easy to put in. I got your highlighting selection for Dexter, so if you select something, it should turn red. And the latest thing is moving platforms, which I was trying to make it easy to put in, and I don't know if you'll like how it works, but basically you can define 2 points as well as the object you want to be moving, and it will just cycle between the starting point of your objects out to one of the points, back to the starting point, and then up to the second one.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have it be a or have a turn in the path, or just have it be a straight single path.
And they can go vertically or horizontally?
Any direction.
Alright.
You can set it to be whatever you want. I don't have any changing the speed of it yet, and I don't know if we'll end up needing that, but that should be easy to add if we need it.
There's something wrong.
No, I have.
Wrong with mine. I don't know what is wrong with it. It's not working the way I don't think it should.
Alright, before we go into that, I just have one question. Is the save as / import only save as is crossed out? Is that just text thing? Or are they both?
I was debating on adding importing, because if you don't scale the file you're importing correctly, it might not sit correctly. So when I was thinking about it, it sounded like a lot of work to implement that.
Mm-hmm.
So if we ever see a need for it, I'll give it a shot, but save as is what you want it to do should work. Just having a default ground that you can add on to and make it a new file.
Alright. Now what's your problem, Dexter?
Whenever I click to like draw a box or something, it just goes into like infinity, and then when I click again, it just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, because it's following the player.
So how do I get it to stop?
So the screen's falling down. So pan out, and that'll press P and it'll stop following the player. And you'll put you in pan mode, and you can draw a box.
Hold on a second, I have to redo all my stuff.
And I added opening, so you can open up a different file without closing.
Wait, which one exactly opens it up again? Like regularly?
Opens. Does what?
Is it just KZAV.exe?
Yeah.
Now when I try to open it, it wants me to pick a level.
Yep.
And I used the spawn one I made from the last one, and that
Nope, it won't work. I've added new
okay,
stuff.
they're not comparable.
If you want me to, I can tell you how to fix it if you want to keep it.
Nah, it's not that big of a problem.
Do you just have to click on it to make it pan and stuff?
Just press P and it's for pan mode, and then that should stop following the player.
And you can use R to respawn.
Yep.
It's great.
There we go.
Yeah, all the tools should be updated, and there are some descriptions of how they work. Nothing's real intuitive, so.
Oh, whoa. That's cool.
Oh. I selected a circle, I deleted it, and then my game crashed.
Yep, that's.
That's as intended.
That's always possible.
But I deleted a box just now and it didn't crash.
So, deleting circles. Let me see if I can make that.
Yeah, I'll try it again.
I'll try deleting a circle.
Yeah.
I've deleted circles before.
Whoa.
Yep.
That's cool.
Circle gave me an error.
When I deleted something, it just like closed my program, tried to save it, and then said it was an error.
Yep, same thing. Can you replicate that, Bill?
No. I can delete things just fine.
Alright, try putting down a box first.
Okay.
I just did.
You guys are on a blank screen?
Yeah. I just put down a box to stop the player from falling. Then I just build any circle. And then in pan mode, I select it and then delete it. And then when I click on the screen, it closes. And it gives me an error. That's everything I did.
Okay, so you put a box down to make a circle.
Yep, I put a box down beneath the player as it falls. I hit R to respawn on top of that box. Then I make a circle, and then I delete the circle.
Then I click on the screen again.
Yep.
And then the error time.
Cool, there we go. Body's null. Okay, cool, that's an easy fix.
So that circle's just them.
Okay,
So I can go into
cool.
detail on what was happening.
Yep, I got that fixed. It's just so easy once you can replicate it.
What, is it something with how the, just how the circle is?
It happens with the box too, just saying.
Yeah,
It did?
just if you want to use this version, whenever you delete something, click S again, select. Because the error is just, it thinks it has something selected still, but it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So the new version will just do that for you, but
And that's how you help your programmer, ladies and gents.
exactly.
Get them to replicate the bug.
Did you guys try resizing stuff?
I did not. I wasn't sure how. I'm gonna read that help.
Try to read it, see if you understand it. Hopefully I described it right.
Wait. How do you check, like, what does what? It's like,
No,
that's
I didn't
that's
know
in it.
actually.
That's in
I
it.
don't know a description for that. So basically for the resizing, you select an object and then hold down the key to change the side you want, and then moving the mouse will move it just in that one direction.
So I select it.
So you select what, a box?
Yeah.
So now if you well, I guess another question. Do you have a number pad?
I do.
Okay, well, I'll change that then. You need a number pad.
So if I do have a number pad,
If you do have a number pad, then you hold down 2, and then moving the mouse up and down will change the bottom edge of the box.
and then 8 works as well for the top.
Yeah.
I see, it's a square. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I used the number pad, because it made perfect sense.
Yeah.
I can remap it to something else.
And what about circles?
Circle was 5. And that just changes the radius. That's about all you can.
Yeah.
But you can try doing the moving paths. Those are binded to the normal numbers.
Now here's issue. I'm playing around with the player right now. When you jump and then you change direction midair, you lose like all your momentum. How would we go about editing that for different degrees?
You lose all your momentum.
Yeah, if you like you don't have equal power going the other way as well as it's like coming to a dead stop in the air. So if you're running and jump to the right, and then while you're in air you hit left, you don't really go anywhere. You just stop where you just stop going right. You don't actually go to the left at all.
Oh, you mean try to change direction in air?
Yeah.
You should still move. If you jump straight up, you should be able to move.
Well, yeah, you move, but
I mean, it's not
like for correcting, if you over jump to the right, you're basically screwed because you can't go back to the left. You can just stop going right. I want to be able to edit the strength of being able to change direction.
Well, like, you can change that right now just by the speed parameter. It's hard-coded, so when they're in air, you only move an eighth of what this number is there, which felt right, but
and since it's hard-coded, you can't really do anything about it.
I mean, I can change stuff, but it'd be easier in person where instantaneous changes. But I mean, little things like that are easy.
Drastic. But alright.
We can leave those for later. Kind of.
Now, assume I did make a level and then you made a new version. What would I have to do to make them compatible?
They'll only be incompatible if I add more data to the save file. Which, as of right now, I have no plans to add any more data. So everything should still work, but I can easily make version programs. I know all the things that change, so like for this one, I can, if you go find the tab for every line in the save file and add 4 zeros and spaces after it, it would work.
Okay. So if I started building levels now,
yes, they
would work with future builds.
I know how to make them work.
Okay.
It's just only if I completely scrap all the data. Even then, I can figure out how to convert them back. So as of right now, nothing's added. Unless nothing is going to be added.
No.
Unless you want more complex moving platforms, then stuff.
Are there maybe a few different shapes? I don't think anything
shapes
from what I see right now that needs to be added.
Shapes can be added without breaking stuff.
Okay.
I like the trace feature.
The what?
The trace thing.
For the player, yeah.
Yeah.
One of those easy, helpful things.
Alright, do we have anything else to go over?
I don't think so.
Alright, and then this level editor, I'm air quoting, will actually be the game, so we don't need any more program files.
Right, yeah.
Alright.
It's nice having the editor being in game a little bit.
I like it.
Sounds good. So we'll end there. This is Project KZAV signing off.